We have residents fleeing 3 largest U.S. cities and, of course, states across the United States because of taxation, because of regulation, because of the new SALT deductions that were, of course, put inside the Tax and Jobs Act just a couple of years ago. Absolutely fascinating how people are migrating across the United States. And here's the clip.
Paul Chabot is with us. He's the president and CEO of Conservative Move. Right, Paul, you help people move from blue states basically to red states. Which state is the one that is losing most people?
So when you look at the overall numbers, California is by far losing the most. Not only people, but businesses. California's lost about 500,000 people in the last 8 years. They've lost about 13,000 businesses in the last 4 years. But you look at Illinois, you look at New York, New Jersey, most of these blue states are losing populations, and they are coming to red states.
That's what's happening, of course, in some areas of the United States. What do you guys think about this?
This trend has been going on for years. We have our own Governor Hogan in Maryland who first campaigned on everyone leaving the state. So honestly, you can look at historical trends.
And they're still leaving, by the way.
And they're still leaving. Baltimore City, we're seeing that too. And then you're also seeing in the West Coast states, especially California, New York, and New York City proper. And Chicago even now is having issues. Chicago's trying to become its own state apparently too. It's crazy.
That'd be a good thing, probably.
Probably, yeah.
Well, from a millennials perspective on this, I mean, I don't think there's anything new. I feel like younger generations, when you get out of college or even high school, like, it's cool to be in the city. Like, there's everything there, no matter.
No doubt.
And every city has its downfalls, right? I mean, you've got like the big cities, Philadelphia, New York, whatever, Chicago. There's crime. There's always been crime, but younger generations tend to like be drawn to them. And I don't think there's anything new that when they get older and have jobs and families, they move out. I don't think that trend's new. I think what's new is that the people that stayed past that phase, that had the families and stuff that used to live in there because of jobs, those are the ones that are now leaving.
They're leaving
for
yes.
good.
It says California lost 13,000 businesses. I mean, wow. That's incredible. And it says, in The Hill, it says, and here's a quote from The Hill, rental trucks such as U-Haul from California to Texas are twice as much to rent as the same trucks going back from Texas to California. Want to go from Los Angeles to Dallas? It costs $2,558. The return back is $1,232. I mean, that speaks volumes right there. You can just look at the U-Haul statistics and see where people are going. The number one state people move trucks to are Florida, South Carolina, Tennessee, North Carolina, and Colorado are the rounding up of the top 10, basically. And people are fleeing. Let's guess. Which states are people fleeing, guys?
I think I named a few. California's one.
New
York's the other.
Illinois.
Yes. Where else?
Pennsylvania, maybe?
New Jersey, Pennsylvania. Awesome. Massachusetts.
Oh, in Connecticut?
Connecticut, but one of the top ones actually is California.
California.
And no surprise.
Yeah, not a surprise at all. California is not even part of the United States. They're completely like on their own. They're like a whole different country.
We'll get this. In net migration daily, in Chicago, 156 more people leave than come in, and that's the net decrease. It's a daily net decrease. It's in the city of Chicago. Wow. In New York City, on 132. In Los Angeles, 128. But the cities where people are gaining, of course, Charlotte, Atlanta, Orlando, Tampa, Las Vegas, Phoenix. I mean, you see a trend there, guys. Tell me about the trend that you see.
Red flight. People are getting tired of being taxed, and they just want to go to places that are less restrictive in how they can live. California is a good example. Endless taxes. That's why we see when you buy even mundane products like gift shopping. In the state of California, this is known to cause birth defects in small for pregnancies. And it's like, okay, but no one else does that.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think it's like the trend is you see the cities and states where government's large and micromanages everything in your life to states where there's more individual freedoms and even tax freedoms. You know,
smaller government footprint.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Would millennials? Obviously, millennials are going to go where the jobs are, but aren't they also going to want to go where the jobs are and where there's freedom, or are they less concerned about that, more concerned about the job?
I think once they get their first paycheck, say, "Oh, I got my first paycheck," and they see how much of the city taxes are taking out. It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd eat half my paycheck. Let's
my
see
kids did that, I'll tell you that. First time they got their paycheck. Where'd all this money go? What is FICA, Dad? Who's that? Who's this person, FICA?
I don't know her.
Yes, well, we won't go there. Meanwhile, publication The Hill says it's social engineering from green energy to wealth redistribution that has made many working families poorer in California, as the long decline in the influx of people, of course, is overtaken by the outward flow. And basically it says the upper middle class is leaving the fastest, and these numbers are actually gaining steam from these blue states and blue cities to the red states. In other words, it's increasing, among other things, of course. I'm sure the SALT deductions. Yeah, go, Ryan.
I honestly think you see the upper middle class leaving the most in the most fastest and large numbers because they actually have the ability to move financially and with their jobs. Probably more mobile, probably more easy to find the jobs in the same industry in other cities. Unless you're like poor, you really can't uproot
trapped.
and leave. You're just stuck in this rut. And once you get up to the maybe middle class, you're gonna get taxed more. It's like you're rocking a hard place scenario, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Andrew, final thoughts on this particular subject?
Yeah, no, it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out, because if it's the upper middle class that's leaving, right, you're losing a lot of tax revenue, and those states that want to are usually the same states that want to implement these socialist policies, large welfare programs. Well, who's going to fund them once all these upper middle class are leaving, right? They're going to have to double down and start. It's not going to be sustainable.
Hey everybody, this is Mark Fisher with Mark and the Millennials. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel.